Hey guys, how's it going? Ches back again with episode number 16 of the Dortmund career mode. Now we ended the last episode with the shock news that Mats Hummels wants to leave the club. Not entirely too sure why. We're doing pretty well in the league, we're doing well in Europe, but nonetheless the board sent me an email saying we've taken the decision to sell Mats Hummels. It is not in the best interest of the club to keep him here any longer. Please ensure this happens. Now at that point I hadn't received any offers for him, so I couldn't either reject or accept them. So we went into a game in the Bundesliga against Nuremberg. Now Aaron Lennon is playing his debut in this one. It is his first game for the club, so hopefully he was going to have a stormer for us. We obviously paid £5.5 million to bring it in from Tottenham, and we have the chance to go third on goal difference here. If Dusseldorf don't win and we can win this game against Nuremberg, then we will move from 7th to 3rd. That is how tight it is at the top. But Aaron Lennon here making the early inroads into their defensive line, drawing a good save out of the goalkeeper there, and this time the goalkeeper wasn't going to get anywhere near it. Aaron Lennon's going to cut inside one defender, inside two with his left foot, and this time he does beat the keeper, but it hits the outside of the post. So unlucky, but positive signs from Aaron Lennon on his debut, making some really good runs, really good positional sense from him, and it was Mario Götze this time getting the ball in from the right hand side from Royce, and really tidy finish this time, finding the target with the left foot into the bottom corner. And half an hour in, we do take a 1-0 lead, but just a few minutes later they were going to slot a tidy through ball there to Polto. So great feet, as well as Götze from the earlier chance, just showing him up, really saying anything you could do, I can do better. And that was a really good finish. A great run actually to break in between my defensive line there, and unfortunately was played onside. But that was their only chance of the first half, so I was definitely confident going forward that we were going to be able to see this one out. And it was Marco Reus again making the runs down the wing to bring in Gundogan here. This is a quality effort. The way it moves in the air, really powerful effort, and it rises and turns and twists in the air to beat the goalkeeper in at the far post to put us 2-1 up. And then it is Marco Reus again coming across from his centre forward role out wide, making the runs to open the space up in the middle for Mario Götze to have a shot. Unfortunately it is blocked, but then kind of aids. If that was online, the opposition guy would be rather furious, but nonetheless it's against the computer. Ball dropped to Lewandowski, 62nd minute. That is 3-1 rather, and then just a couple of minutes later after that, again Gundogan going to get free in the box, and that is a really tidy finish. Reversed the ball across the goalkeeper into the bottom corner, decided not to go for the powerful OP near post shot, and tidily cutting the ball into the far corner. Really nice finish actually. I was rather impressed with that from Gundogan, and that was exactly what we needed to take a 4-1 win from that game. And considering Dusseldorf lost, we are now up to 3rd in the Bundesliga, which is fantastic. Back into a Champions League position. Still 22 points behind Bayern Munich, who are flying, absolutely flying, taking maximum points almost so far this season. But we get a big offer for Marco Reus, which we turned down. And then some horrible news. Now I'm actually going to go on a mini rant here, because you see it says player sold. I didn't receive any bids for Mats Hummels, but the board have accepted a bid of £10 million and sold him to Barcelona. Not only was he valued at £13 million, they've sold him £3 million under his market value without informing me. You can see from even the press have cottoned on to the fact that I'm livid at the fact that he's been sold. They didn't tell me they were going to sell him. They sold him to one of our biggest international European rivals. It was almost realistic, because obviously Bayern Munich have quote-unquote signed Robert Lewandowski for the end of next season on a free from Borussia Dortmund, which is a ridiculously ludicrous decision from their board members to sell Lewandowski on a free to Bayern Munich, their biggest German rivals. And they've just done the same in here. Completely fucked me over, selling my best defensive player for £10 million. I could have got 30 plus for him. I really could have got 30 plus. So I was absolutely fuming that the board have done that to me. So we went out, we put a bid in for Mamadou Sakho, because he's quality. I've really enjoyed using him on Ultimate Team. And we're going to put some inquiries in for a number of different centre-backs. You can see we've put an inquiry in for Jerome Boateng, although I'm not too positive that might go through, because of course he is from a rival. But we've also inquired about Dede, because I haven't used him on manager mode, but he is of course an absolute brute when it comes to Ultimate Team. Kind of trying to use experiences in Ultimate Team to maybe help out my decision when it comes to career mode. Now I did put an inquiry in for Martin Caceres here, as well as David Luiz and Bonucci, but I've since used Caceres in Ultimate Team, hated him, absolutely hated him, so I won't be following that up, despite putting in the inquiry. But we come back to the Deutsche Pokal. It is the quarter-final round, and we do have Werder Bremen. Now, S-Fine is starting up top because I wanted to give Robert Lewandowski a bit of a rest because we do have an upcoming Champions League game that we do want to progress in because, of course, we're through to the second knockout phase of that competition as well. But they had an early chance, and then Aaron Lennon whips in a fantastic free kick for Nevan Subotic to power in a header from. That is textbook training ground move. Really delighted with the way that went. I left the replay in as well. Aaron Lennon really settling in rather nicely. He had obviously a great game in his first game, proving that he does have the set piece delivery as well to pick out a player, as well as the pace to cut down the left hand side, or right hand side rather. So delighted with the way he's come in and had an impact immediately. But much with the goal from the previous game, actually, Nuremberg's goal. A tidy slotted pass that kind of picks apart my defence. So I made a change at half-time, brought on Rodrigo to maybe kind of change things up a bit and open up my options up top. But it wasn't up top where the next action was. It was at the back. An absolute FIFA AIDS once again. I to go along with that Hummels news, that just really infuriated me. You'll be able to see from the replay that Wiedenfeller just kind of taps Santana on the shin, and he just completely flops to the ground and lets their striker finish the goal. Extremely frustrating. And then Rodrigo, just 5 minutes later, gets a tug on the shoulder, goes down in an absolute heap, and gets injured. This is the worst few days for me when it comes to this Dortmund career mode. We get Mats Hummels sold 3 million under budget, could have made 30 plus. Then we get FIFA Ace to go 2-1 down in the cup quarter-final, and Rodrigo gets a broken ankle just 5 minutes later. After he came on at half-time, lasted 20 minutes, breaks his ankle, and then we bring on Robert Lewandowski. So, and I don't know why they have this animation as well. You've broken your ankle, mate. Don't start rolling it around like that when you're walking off the pitch, for Christ's sake. Maybe they should bring in some sort of stretcher animation for FIFA 14, because that would make more sense, I guess. If a player's broken his ankle, it's not going to walk off. But Lewandowski has an instant impact. Much as Aaron Lennon has coming into the club, Lewandowski coming into the game just 5 minutes after he got brought on. Lovely finish across the goalkeeper with the outside of his foot to bring us back into the game at 2-2, and then into the last couple of minutes. Just looked like a tame header, and the referee gave a penalty. You'll be able to see that Piszczek goes up with his arm. Not really too sure what he's doing that. So Ligue 1 Guk with a chance to put Werder Bremen into the semi-final of the Deutsche Pokal, and he hits the post. An absolute let-off. So maybe our luck is changing. We go in at full time at 2-2. Now it's more like the League Cup in England rather than the FA Cup in the way that it actually goes to extra time. Now, how the goalkeeper managed to save that header from Felipe Santana, I have no idea. But that was the only chance, really, in extra time. So you can see the stats from 120 minutes. We were very much on top with more possession and more chances and better chances. But we go to penalties, and I don't really have any very good penalty takers whatsoever. So we're going to come in here. Now, penalties are actually really hard to commentate over because it's quite slow paced. But that was a fantastic penalty from Lewandowski, by the way. Regardless of the fact he only had 73 pens, that was superb. But yeah, penalties are really hard to commentate over. You don't know whether to say, and this pen, and he's put it in the back of the net, and this pen, and he's saved it. It can get a bit monotonous, but I think what I will do to do this while this is going on in the background is let you know just what I do in a penalty situation. Now, obviously, you'll see Aaron Hunt is going to... Is it Aaron Hunt? I think it's Aaron Hunt. Hunt is going to make the run-up here, and I try and read the run-up and see that he's going to put it down the middle. It is extremely difficult to do, and I'd say only 70% of the time I get it right, but Royce here is going to put in a great penalty as well, right to the top corner. But you'll be able to see from the next one as well, you try and just watch their feet, watch the foot that's going to strike the ball. Sometimes you can read it, sometimes you can't. He struck the ball on the right-hand side there. Now, if you could read that quick enough, and you have a decent enough goalkeeper, you can flick the stick and get across to it. That time I didn't read it and went the wrong way, but fortunately Kevin De Bruyne hit the post, and it is Gundogan to step up to put us actually into the semi-final. A great penalty, really good penalty shootout from us actually. 4-1, a 4-1 penalty shootout win, which is superb. So we're going to push on into the cup semi-final. So fingers crossed we can actually be successful in the Deutsche Pokal, and we can come home with at least some silverware this season. Even though we're only halfway through the year, it's probably safe to say the league is beyond us. With 22 points behind Bayern Munich, they don't look like they're going to be dropping many more points, but they are also through to the semi-finals along with us, and Bayer Leverkusen there at the top, beating Wolfsburg, and Energy Cottbus actually beat Eintracht Frankfurt as well. So that is going to wrap this video to a close, guys. Let me know your reaction to the Hummels news. I'm personally absolutely livid about it. But anyway, there is a link on screen to the previous video in this series in the big window, and in the little window to a random video from earlier on in the week on this channel. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Of course, leave a like if you could be so kind, and if you haven't, subscribe for more career mode, and of course the pack only RTG and the odd squad builder as well. So thank you very much for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.